Welcome. I don't know how many times I said that, but I think I did it on accident a few times. Alright, so there are a few patterns that I would love to trade. There's like 4 or 5, I'm not really sure. I just have them on my desk over here. If I sound weird, I'm wearing Invisalign, so it's kind of weird, but I'm going to show you guys really quick. Watch this. Alright, so there are a few patterns. There's the DMA. The DMA is not 100%. There is RSI. I mean, those are indicators, but those are used to make decisions through it. And then the stock RSI, and then the MACD. Now, the MACD is those physical lines that like look like that, and like they usually go up. And then there's ETF patterns, which is the bounce back, the staircase, and consolidation, and then a breakout indicator. So there's basically three. No, let me show you. So the DMA and the MACD are 1. So that's 1, and then the RSI and the stock RSI are 2, and then the bounce back and the staircase are another pattern, and then consolidation and the RSI breakout indicator are another pattern. So I'm going to show you all of them right now. And I'm going to show you my indicators first, and I'm going to show you how I use all of them, especially in swing trading. So let's get into it. So this is my swing trading. You can see here, if I go down here and I hit load study set, it says swing trade, and that's what I use, pretty much, except yep. Alright, so I first use MACD. Now the MACD has the DMA in it, which are these two lines. So the MACD, let's just say that you see an upcoming MACD crossing, which is this. Right here, it breaks above the 180 SMA and the 15 EMA. Let's just say it breaks above it, and now it's crossing, now it's angling up, and it's starting to make a new trend. Now that's 2 patterns in 1. So that's not only a MACD one, it's a staircase, and that's what we got to look at. And then there's also other things like upward triangles and downward triangles and ascending channels. Now, I don't like to trade ascending channels because they always break one way or the other anyways, and you can never tell when, so I'm not really going to talk about those that much. But, yeah. So, if you can see here, actually, forget about the indicators. So, we're just going to talk about indicators and then patterns. So, my indicators are this Woody's CCI. Love it because look at, you can see when it's unsure what direction it's going to go, and that's gray. And then if it's a yellow one, that means that it's the deciding point. So that means that there's either going to be a break up or a break down the next candle. Especially only use this on the 4-hour chart because this is a swing trading one. And then, as you can see, it goes up, up, up. It gets green. Don't even pay attention to the direction of it because it doesn't matter. But you can see that it gets green, 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 green. Has a little tiny pullback, and then squirts right back up where it should be. Green, 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 green. And then that's when you would sell, of course. Most of the time it doesn't really work like that. Let's go. Biology. My math grade is almost at a B. I have a hard time in school, but that's only because I'm mostly focused on this stuff. Now, there's this. So you can see a lot of the times, it usually just goes right into it. So if just think here. There's this gray piece right now. Now, if that's below and it's going down, and it doesn't go, and it goes just straight into a green, that's like a pretty much an automatic buy. And then, so yeah, like that's basically straight into an automatic buy. Now, it's your job determining where to get out. So I would sell somewhere in here, or here, because you're still up, but it was just a pullback. And so this indicator is really, really nice, especially for swing trading. All right, and then we have the meso sine wave. Now this indicator makes no sense. So you can see here that it's basically just a breakout indicator. It every single time it crosses, there's usually a break down, one up or down. So look, it broke there on that very day. It broke up. It started to trend up. It broke here and it broke up, but that's high, and then it started to go low, even though that the moving price average was up. And same thing here. Look at it. It's gonna break down, but as it's going down, it did 6% today. So it really doesn't make sense. But the best part about it is every single time that it identifies a breakout, it crosses and it does a cross, which means every single time that there's a cross, there's either going to be a really big move up or down. And then based on that, you can see if it's in the green, Woody's CCI, and it has the potential to go up using the DMA and MACD. So then I'm going to talk about the RSI. So the RSI, Strength Relative Index, I don't know if you guys can really know it, but if it's basically below 40, I consider it pretty oversold. If it's above basically 65, it's overbought. So that's how you know when it's going to push down. Like, you would never buy right here. It's at the very top of the RSI. It's just such a bad deal. Basically, this is the good deal indicator. If it's lower on the chart, it's a good deal. If it's higher on the chart, it's a bad deal. So the higher up you get, it's a bad deal. And the higher chance that you're going to lose money. But let's just say you looked at this. It looks like it just had a cross here. It's still, even though it's angled up, the cross here, and the DMA lines are closing on the MACD. It starts to get angled up. It gets confirmed here. Boom, boom, boom. You're up 20% in 6 days. So that's all from the RSI and just looking at it. And then there's also other indicators. So I'm going to show you them on the chart. So there's volume. So if there's an abnormally high volume, that means that there's probably going to be a breakout, whether how like high it is. So look at this volume is really, really high. So this is an abnormally high volume. And so you can see here that it broke up 10% that day, even though it was oversold and it wasn't a good deal on the CCI, and there was no breakout indicator on here. It still broke up 10% in a single day. Now that's the worst part. So yeah. So you just gotta be careful of that stuff. And then there's also the 15 EMA and exponential moving average. Now this is a good indicator for indicating direction. So look at it's basically a confirmation. So look at, if you bought right above here, it would have been 5% by the end of the market closes. Bought there, 11%, it just crossed above. So that means it's on an upward trend. Right here, I don't know if you can see it, but right here, you can see it crosses. Next, it's to 18%. I'm going to show you on UGAZ too. Look at, confirmed its direction, had a little bit of a pullback, but overall it's still trending up. And then there's a 180-day EMA, so that forces all, what's it called? It basically enforces all direction. So look at, so this overall direction is down because the EMA is down. Now I'm not saying that in the short term it went up. Now in the short term it did go up, but in the long term it's been going down for 11 days. So now if we go back to 22.59, if we get above there, we will be in a position where we will be in a position where we can trade the market, and it's going to start growing and making new highs. So now you can see, like right here, the 15 EMA, it confirms on here there's an abnormally high volume compared to all the other days in that week. It crosses the MACD, and it starts making new highs, and it's angling up, indicating an upward trend. And now it's starting to push up. So let's just say you bought here. It's not overbought yet, but there's a breakout coming. So I would sell 50% of my shares, even though that's a 12% gain. I'd sell 50% and then reinvest the profits whatever way it goes. So this could have gone down or up. So let's just think if it started to go up. Well, that means it confirmed that it went up. So we could go just like this. We could go right there. And that's where I probably would have sold, because it was really, really oversold. I mean, it was really, really overbought, and that was a big issue. So that's where I would have sold and bought. So now you can see my thinking behind that. So right there, 29%, basically 30 freaking percent in less than 3 days. It's all about how you look at things. If you look at things about, like, in a company's perspective, if you're like, this has an upward trend, which means I'm a lot more likely to make money on it. I'm not buying the dip. It's just uptrending. That's good. And then you can also think about it like this. You could think about it like, what does this stock need to do for me to buy it? And for me, it's an upward trend, because that's good percentages. I mean, how else are you going to do it? So right now, I'm going to show you. So, yeah. Now I'm going to show you my Webull. I love Webull. It is the best app for starting. Now, it's not as complicated as this, and you can probably make 80% of the trades that I make on Webull. But I can make 100% of the trades I make on TD Ameritrade. So I was up like $98 was my high today. But clearly I didn't do that. So now you can see that there's some. So I already covered the MACD. I already covered the CCI. I already covered the RSI. So now the only thing that we have to cover is the KDJ. This is my favorite indicator. I know I've said it before. This is the only reason why I pretty much use Webull. It indicates a direction. Look at it. It's going up. It indicates a breakout. It indicates a direction change, and it indicates how potential. So look at, did a really, really big swing here. So you got to think of it as like a launcher, like a catapult. And the more wind up that your catapult gets, the more wind up that you put on your catapult, the higher it's going to shoot. So look at this one, swooped way down, which means the catapult went all the way down, and then as soon as it happened, it popped up. In fact, 20% today, it popped up. So think about that the next time. And look at this. Usually, they have recoil. So now you can see that the first one launched here. First one launched all the way up. Buy. Change direction, sell. Sell. Look at, sometimes there's recoil. So now you can go like this. It launched, and now it's coming back, and now it's going to throw it again. So now look at this throw. In a single day, it did 13%, and then the next day it gapped up 11%, and then the next day it gapped up 12%, and then the next day it did 10%. That's a total percentage gain of insane. So I know it has an overall downward pattern, but it also has like a really big and a really high amount of volume. And if you can master that volume through all these indicators, you're going to see, wow, I can trade this a lot better. So, I don't know which one this is. I kind of forgot. This is the best patterns. Cool. All right. All right. I know that was kind of weird, but the next thing that I'm going to talk about is patterns. Now, there's 4 patterns I like to do. There is the upward triangle and downward triangle. A downward triangle looks like this. I'm going to switch back to my weeb. All right. So now you can see that this is a ascending triangle. Take a low, a few lows, they go on a trend line path, and it bounces in between them, and then all of a sudden, it has a 75% chance of it breaking up, then down. So that's also a thing that you need to do. So the same thing with inverse, same thing. So if it's a downward triangle, I'm going to go DGAZ. If it's a downward triangle, you can see here that it's a downward triangle. It has a 75% chance of going down, which it did overnight, 23%. Now, if you can imagine 23% of your account just getting up and walking away, that's how it feels. So now you can see, look there was a breakout right here, which was the bottom. And now there's a breakout right here, which is exiting the top, which means anything could happen. And now that's basically the upward triangle and downward triangle and the rising wedge and falling wedge. Those numbers are practically the same. And then there's the double bottoms, pretty much, and the double bottoms and reverse head and shoulders. So you can see here that this is a reverse head and shoulders. It's consolidating, which is another form. Consolidating. A reverse head and shoulders goes like this. Now, a reverse head and shoulders has a 100% chance of going up. But that's the only way to get a reverse head and shoulders or a double bottom. It's if it goes up the second time and it goes past the middle. That's the only point. So the first point is a resistance line. That's when it starts to go down. And then it creates a bottom. And then it goes up about halfway, maybe to an SMA or EMA line, which it did, and then comes back down to that same bottom. That's why it's called a double bottom. And then it goes back up again, and then hits the previous high, which was this. At the time, it was 198, and then used that as a resistance, and then did an upward triangle with the EMA line and wedged itself out. So now you can see once it wedged itself out, it did 6% in a single day, just in one candle within a 4-hour period. Now that's really, really quite insane. Now, and then there's another one. It's called the bounce back. I use this one for purely day trading, pretty much. It's in the first hour of the market, or a few hours, and you can see that this was DGAZ today. Went down, 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 up, up, did reverse head and shoulders. I told you that. I mean, that's a head and shoulders because did a reverse, and then went down. Now on UGAZ, it looked like this. On UGAZ, it looked like this. It hit the middle VWAP, or it touched it a little bit, and there's a pretty big margin. And then a bounce back is where you can see the previous high. That's the previous high, basically. And it goes down from there, touches the middle VWAP, either does an indicator or a pattern, or it's a V pattern. So usually, sometimes they're like this. And then sometimes they do a double bottom or a reverse head and shoulders. So now you can see that that was a bounce back because it touched the previous high. So that's what a bounce back is. It's within day trades where it touches the middle. It basically comes to the nearest VWAP or resistance line and then bounces off of that with some sort of pattern and continues to break up. Now, I highly suggest that you watch other videos on it, on other patterns, because you need to inform yourself about what you want to trade. So, I'm going to show you something real quick. I'm just seeing if it's good or not. Just saying. So, you get, alright, so this thing had quite a bit of a downturn today. Now you can see it did consolidate before. So this is called consolidation. After it had this is called basically, okay, we're going to not do consolidation right now. We're going to do staircases. So staircases are basically an ascending upward pattern that you can see. So look at, this is a staircase. Went up, had a little bit of a pullback. Went up, had a little bit of a pullback. Went up, had a little bit of a pullback. So that's just how it is. So now it goes, and then there's a downward staircase which goes up. It goes down, then a little bit of an up. It goes down, and then a little bit of an up. Now the way that you can see that they're pullbacks is if it goes back, and if it touches the 15 EMA. So now you can see the 15 EMA. It's constantly getting rejected through the bottom of this EMA, and then all of a sudden pops up above it. So now that's how I know that's a reversal. It's not a. That's how I know it's not a reversal, and it's just a It's just a pullback. So today we had a really, really big. We broke above the EMA, just like this day. I'm trying to find a day that it did pretty much the same thing. It did this. This was the day. Early, it was like 20% up, and then it crashed. And now, no. I don't see a day that's like this. I do not. So, let's see. This is one, but it would kind of be above there. So, how I know that this is a pullback? Look at it. Literally touched the bottom of it and didn't go below it. It didn't touch it. It's literally just a pullback because we had this really, really big, massive indicator here, and we allowed it to go up. And now, I don't know if you can see that. Look at all of my trend lines are angled up, kind of. So you guys should watch this. Staircase. So it goes up and then it does a pullback. It goes up and then it does a pullback. Now the pullbacks, the way that you can see a pullback is if it gets rejected by the EMA line. The 15 EMA, look at, does a pullback, it goes up, does a pullback, touches here, doesn't cross the 15 EMA, goes up, does a pullback, barely touches it, goes up, does a pullback, barely touches it again. Now you can see that this is also a reversal pattern, which is a head and shoulders. Now that it's going down, you can see it makes new high, goes up, does a double, basically a double bottom. Uh, I just saw something really, really terrible. This day looks a lot like our day. This day looks a lot like the day today, and they're all at the tops. Look at this day looks like a lot like today. It had a really big push up, and then it went straight down. But if you look at the CCI or whatever, you can see that. See, these are all gray, so we might be making new history. Because usually grays, they start it, and then there's a yellow, and then it goes to green or red. But I do not see the green or red. So, oh man, this is so rough. See how many viewers are on. I'm just gonna kind of curious. Shoot, I exited out a bit. Yeah. So then those are the patterns. Actually, no, there's two more. There's the RSI Breakout, which is you turn these on by going in here. No. Turn these on by going in here, and then you go to RSI, and then you turn on breakout signals. Yes, I selected yes. So now you can see every single time it detects breakout, it's going to tell me. So this is a pattern, and it's also a breakout. So every single time you get this, look at it breaks up. Every single time you get it, it breaks up. Every single time you get it, it breaks up. Every single time you get it down, it doesn't always break down. So all these are supposed to be like indicators. You're not even supposed to really just purely trade based on that. And so that's the breakout indicators. Basically shows the very bottom and when you should buy of a stock. Alright, and then there's consolidation. Now this can go 50-50, and it really, really sucks every single time. So you can see here, this little tiny bit where it didn't do anything pretty much the entire day, that's consolidation. Look at it. And it breaks up or down. This is a really long consolidation. It didn't go up above 6%, it didn't go below 6%, so this consolidation, it broke down overnight 20%. So it's really, really dangerous when you see that. Now you can see, but if you're planning on it like this, if you're like, it's going to reverse, it's starting to make new highs, and all my indicators are saying that it is. The price of natural gas is going up, and it just broke this. It just broke it. It means that the consolidation went up, which means you can identify a breakout. So it's a breakout indicator or a pattern, or you want, but you're not going to trade mostly on consolidation. Now you can trade mostly on upward triangles and upward wedges, just because they have a higher percent chance. Now this is a 50-50. Always. There's never more or less. Look at consolidation breaks down. Consolidation, reverse head and shoulders, breaks up. Consolidation breaks down. Consolidation breaks up. Consolidation breaks down. Consolidation breaks down. Consolidation breaks up. It really doesn't matter. So those are my favorite indicators to use pretty much all the time. I love to use them. So right now I'm just going to break down UGAZ really quick. So as you can see, UGAZ is It had a really, really good start today. Basically all candle. Then it took a little bit of a loss, ending the day at 1834. Probably not the end, but you can see that I'm pretty sure that this is just a pullback, considering that it just did 20% in a single day and then touched the bottom EMA. So tomorrow it should gap up again. So take that with a grain of salt. Have fun. Oh wait, there's one more. You have to go to the day chart. So the day chart can really, really help you. So you can see that it's really choppy because it has so much volume to it. Sorry, my Invisalign is freaking hurting so much. You can see that. Look at red, 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 green, green, red. So once you see the red, you know it's time to sell. Once you see the green, you know it's time to buy. Once you see the red, it's time to sell. Once you see the green, it's time to buy. Once you see buy, sell, sell, sell. Buy, sell, sell, sell. Look at this. Buy, buy a lot here because it just pushed up above the EMA line. Buy, sell. Once you see that red. Buy, 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 buy. It looks like it's gonna get rejected, but it isn't. That's technically a buy because it went up on the day and it gapped up. Look at it, gapped up 9%, so that's a green. And so that's a green, and then this is a red because it started to push down. So that's another indicator that you can use if the day is green or not. So now you can see that today's day is green, which means it's gonna go up, hopefully. So thank you for watching. I know I'm actually gonna make a really, really close one to buy UGAZ or DGAZ. I'm gonna make a live stream really fast. Go watch my other videos. Go join my Discord server if you want two free stocks. Join Weeble and Robinhood in the links down below. I get one too, so that's fun. And also, if you want to invest in a hedge fund, I'm starting my own hedge fund really soon. And I already have 6 data analysts, just in case you're wondering. And my website's also in the description for that. So go join my Discord server. Thanks for watching. Also, you can ask me any questions you want on the Discord server. I really don't care. It could be personal questions. It could be stock questions. Any questions. Thank you for watching.